Alright, welcome back guys. Yeah, sorry, a little bit slow on the updates and that. I had a couple of issues outside the trading world. Somebody come and took part of my stuff, so yeah, it's made it a little bit hard to keep up to date with these updates. But anyway, we're back on board now on that. Look, just a little follow up on that last sort of prediction we had with the sort of gold movement. So we were looking for this sort of like flag breakout here, and you can see this perfect measured move. Came up here, clipped the top of this here, took some profit around sort of 1852, and then absolutely just got demolished coming all the way down here. Now this would have been a great short. I mean, I'm not really one to sort of get on the sell sides of these things, so unfortunately I missed this massive move coming down here. But you know what, I'm back in it again. I'm looking for some longs. We're catching this sort of nice little sort of pattern coming up here. Now, last night we had a couple of, this whole week we've actually had a lot of news coming out, but particularly last night we had the BOE, excuse me, and the ECB both coming out with their rate decisions. I think the big part of all that that really affected gold, like you saw a short little sort of sell off during the sort of BOE sort of period, just coming down here, only a few dollars, but this big sell down here was just when they had that presser conference afterwards, where Lagarde, whatever the name is, was sort of talking about potential sort of rate hikes and that for the ECB, which has been sort of absolutely and completely dovish the last sort of couple of months, and really had no interest in sort of talking about rate rises. But there was a point there where they was being pressed to sort of really sort of confirm whether there were going to be any rate rises in 2022, and I think they just avoided the question. I think the market really picked up on that, and you saw the euro absolutely take off. So if you look at the euro through this period, this is when this little conversation was coming through here. So the euro absolutely took off on that news, and subsequently we saw gold sell right down. Well, what I'm liking though, if you look on this 1 hour, is this just sell down here, came down, touched the bottom here. I have to admit I did get stopped out in this period here, so you know, I mean, I was one of those people in these little stop hunts. But this is what I've been talking about in a lot of these videos. Gold loves doing the stop hunts, and when you see these big sort of reversals come straight back up like this, it's the analogy of like the beach ball. It's been sort of held down underwater, it goes down and then pops straight back up. That power, obviously you've seen this little sort of consolidation after that's come back up inside this structure, is likely to continue through. So what I'm looking for at the moment, if we go back onto the 4 hour, you're seeing this nice sort of tail. It's still holding this sort of like, look, it is a bit of a wedge, so typically you would be looking for a continuation down to the downside, but I think this was that option. If it was going to continue to sell down, I think this was the time that you were going to see it kind of melt down and come down and, you know, go towards the sort of mid 1700s. But obviously, look, the buyers were there and they snapped up that opportunity and they sort of pushed it right back up. So what I'm looking for in the immediate right now is a clear break above this previous zone. Obviously we've had these ones drawn up a little bit. A break above 1810. You're seeing a little bit of structure over here up around the sort of 1816, 1817 sort of area, but I wouldn't be calling this like a sort of major zone. Obviously previously here we sort of saw it sort of respected a bit, and if we can continue that through, I would call this a bit more of a minor zone. I wouldn't really sort of be going, okay, this is the price target at all. You may sort of see a bit of resistance sort of come on here, so you may see a little bit of a pushback, maybe test top side of this 1810 area again. But really, I think if we can get a clean break above 1810, 1830 is the back on the cards. And you know what, this has been the point that we're looking for. And if we zoom right out, if we sort of take it right back here, I mean, look at this period. Look at how long this has been respected for. This is your weekly sort of resistance zone, and you know, we're seeing this just as much as we've got it over here. Well, yeah, that's not going to work too far out, but that's fine. I mean, you can still see it over here as well, where it's been respected here, been respected here. Like, this isn't like sort of just a number that was sort of arbitrarily sort of picked out. This has been respected time and time again over the last going back to July last year. So, you know, this is a big sort of like, you know, you're getting these little overshoots down here, little overshoot down here, it comes up, sort of counter swing out the top over here. So, you know, I mean, what we're really looking for right now is 1810 to break, 1830 to be the first price target. And I think if we can get another push through this 1830, obviously sort of we got slapped back from this big period, this big zone up the top here previously. But if we can sort of punch through this again, I think definitely that's the next target, that 1850, 1860 zone. And then on from there, who knows? I mean, if you have a look at sort of what's happening with the DXY, like, so DXY is typically inverted to the movements of gold. I mean, recent months and that, you've seen a little bit of a change of that. And we've sort of seen things sort of almost sort of run at the same time. But DXY has been absolutely demolished in that. And again, you can see these zones where it's respected time and time again. And then last night, this was the same period. I mean, DXY obviously runs pretty much opposite in sync with the euro dollar. So, you know what I mean, when we're seeing euros sort of fly up because the euro is holding so much weight in the DXY, you're seeing almost a completely inverted chart of it all. But you're just seeing this complete sell-off here. And again, just in this 4-hour period, it just, once it broke this little short-term rising support here, it just went bang down kind of thing. And, you know, if we're looking at the RSI, this little pattern coming up here, you may start to see a little bit of a pushback up here, but at the moment, this isn't sort of, it's not quite oversold completely yet. It is tightening up a little bit with the candles, so you may see a little bit of a pushback up over here. But again, gold and the DXY are starting to sort of go back to that sort of typical kind of relationship where they're inverted. And so the more that we sort of see it pushing, DXY pushing down, you're going to see gold push up a little bit more. You see it's in that nice healthy, we got the RSI sort of crossing over here on the H4. It's coming up here, but 1810 is where I'm looking for in the short term. Break out of this little sort of kind of wedge. I know typically these sort of rising wedges are more of a bearish kind of setup, but just given the way that the price action's going at the moment and this sort of snap back up here, over here, I would expect all this sort of liquidity that sort of got grabbed in this point here. I mean, that's not just going to dissipate in sort of a $3-4 move, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with it all. But 1810 is what we're looking for in the short term, and then if we can get a break above that, then again we're looking for 1830 in the short to medium term. Sweet as guys, just another quick update, and we'll be back on board soon. Cool. Good luck.